No Atletico Madrid's title to lose over in La Liga, as of course all the talk was about the ESL. But is there any hope for anybody else outside the top three? Probably not. We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today we take a look at match number 33 over in La Liga, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to this channel, where the heck are you been, boys? Smash your subscribe, hit your bang up related. All things La Liga related, blah 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 related, woo, football related. We got it all here, boys. It's underwaterski. That's right, folks. It is another one of those quick draw McGraw, boys, where we are going to take a look at, of course, the picks, but not going to take a look at your picks this time around. We'll take a look at your picks next week, I believe. Of course, we've got the whole of next week to kind of get us bang up to date with, of course, all the prediction stuff. So we're going to do that, of course, next week. Again, if you're new, check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and again, Patreon if you want to support channel in another way. But anyway, let's get cracking and take a look at, of course, the situation that is over in La Liga this past week or so. Of course, it was Levante against Sevilla just on Wednesday, the 21st of April. So a 1-0 win for Sevilla in the end. Yes, Nesri on the score sheet, giving them the win. 2-0 for me. Nesri, of course, is up there in the top 5 goal scorers in the division at the moment, and that's another one to his tally. So Sevilla keeping up the heat, of course, in the top 4. Meanwhile, also one of the nice guys, I would say. Of course, Sevilla not in that breakaway top 3 that, of course, has been lambasted all this week. Anyway, Osasuna against Valencia was also a win for Osasuna. Big win for them. Of course, Valencia have a really shitty season at the moment. Javier Martinez on the score sheet. Jonathan Caleri as well. Roberto Torres as well getting on the score sheet for Osasuna. Kevin Gamero getting the one to go for Valencia. Actually, went for Valencia on this one, but unfortunately I got that one wrong. Betis was a 0-0 draw against Bilbao. Another report here, except for a red card for Naby Fekir, which will mean he'll be out for the next one. Alaves against Villarreal also was a 2-1 win for Alaves in the end on this one. A good big win for them as well. Down the foot of the table, Joselu Edgar Mendez on the score sheet with Paco Alcazar getting on a goal for Villarreal, who of course needed that win, of course, towards the top of the table, but unfortunately not good enough for them. Elche against Valladolid was a 1-1 draw. Goal scorers on the day were Fidel for Elche, of course, Lucas Alazaza on the score sheet for, of course, Valladolid, in a point split right down the middle. Actually, I remember the 1-0 win for Valladolid, but I was wrong. Meanwhile, we had, of course, the 3-0 win for Real Madrid over Cadiz. Of course, one of the breakaway big 3. Benzema on Donzula on the score sheet. Benzema got a couple of goals there in a 3-0 win. Actually, I remember the 2-1 win myself for Madrid, and I was pretty much close to the money. Meanwhile, Atletico Madrid needed to keep the win. They got the win with a 2-0 win over, of course, Huesca, bottom club. That was on Thursday, the 22nd of April, just fresh off the post there. Angel Carrera on the score sheet, Yana Carrasco as well, giving Madrid, Atletico that is, with the 2-0 win to keep them, of course, top of the pops. Granada against Eibar ended up as a 4-1 win for Granada. Big win for them, of course. No longer in the old Europa Cup, but of course, hoping to get back into it this coming season. Soldado on the score sheet with a couple of goals there. Puertes and Kennedy as well. Kiki Garcia on the score sheet for Eibar, but unfortunately not good enough. 4-1 for them. A 1-0 for me, not too bad there. Sociedad, big winners there as well. 2-1 win over Celta Vigo, and I got the one bang on the nose. Of course, goal scoring from Porto and Anton Hrnčić on the score sheet, of course, Sociedad. Hugo Malalo on the score sheet for, of course, Celta Vigo, but unfortunately not good enough for them. And Barcelona, 5-2 winners over Getafe, of course. One of the stink merchants for, of course, that Super League. Messi with a couple of goals there as well. Sofian Chakala with a big for OG, and Anton Griezmann as well, alongside Adi Ajero on the score sheet for, of course, Barcelona. Clement Lenglet with a big for OG, and Ines Unal on the score sheet as well. What's that done to the table? Of course, we're going to look at your picks. Oh, bollocks, I pressed the wrong bloody button. Of course, what's that done to the table? I say, what's that done to the bloody table? Well, here it is, right here, right now. Throwing it at you, of course. Atletico Madrid still top of the pops by 3 points. Atletico Real Madrid are in second, of course, with a weaker goal difference, which it could all come down to. Of course, Barcelona have a game in hand. Win that, they could go second, which would be just 2 points adrift, and they do have the superior goal difference. So hopefully, just Atletico Madrid just need to keep on bloody winning. Sevilla, though, not out of the woods either. Of course, a win for them, they could go into second. Come on, bloody Sevilla, you can bloody do it. Let's make it bloody happen. Of course, down the foot of the table, of course, Eibar, Elche and Huesca going down. Valladolid still in the discussion, as are Alaves, and also Getafe will probably still be in the mix as well. Valladolid got the game in hand. Of course, they can break away, but still all to do. And of course, speaking of all to do, we have a bit of an extended match week, of course, coming up. And again, we'll take a look at your picks next time around. So let's get into it then. Of course, take a look at Elche because Levante this coming weekend. This will be on Saturday, the 24th of April. Plays to the last 6, no wins for Elche. 4 was Levante, and 2 draws. Last time around in Elche was a 2-0 win. Scrap, that was a 1-0 win for Levante back in, of course, September 2016. In the league, Jose Campagna on the score sheet giving Levante the win. Also, though, this season in Levante it was a 1-1 draw back in November. Heading into this, Levante keep a clean sheet in 6 of the last 8 away matches against Elche, and they've also won the last 3 away matches against Elche in all competitions. However, they're coming into this, Levante just won with the past 5. That one was against Eibar a couple of games back. Meanwhile, at least 6 games without a win for Elche, as they, of course, look to be scrambling out of the division. A quick look at the bookies' odds on this one. We'll get to it in just a tick. Of course, Elche coming to 17-10 for the victory, 11-5 is your draw, 8-5 is your long shots. Well, actually, is your favourite, so it is Levante. Levante coming to this in 11th, and win for them, they can move up to 9th. Of course, Elche went down to 19th, and win for them, they can move up to 16th as well for the table. Going to go with the 1-0 for Levante. Really good season for them. Looks like a season of mid-table obscurity for them. Meanwhile, Elche will probably go down. Valladolid up against Cadiz now. Players of the last 6. 2 was for Valladolid, 1 for Cadiz, 3 draws. Last time around in Valladolid was a 1 more draw back in the Segundo division back in, of course, April 2018. Goodness gracious me, Servando on the score sheet. Tony Martinez as well for Valladolid. That was back in, of course, a couple of years ago. Meanwhile, this season, they played each other in Cadiz. There was no draw back in December. Valladolid have actually failed to win 13 last 14 matches in La Liga. They come into this. Valladolid without a win at 5, of course. The last win was against Getafe all the way back at the start of March. Meanwhile, Cadiz just 1 defeat the past 4 games. 1 defeat is against Real Madrid just the other day. Prior to that, 2 wins and a draw to boot in the last 4. As for the bookies odds, we have Valladolid 11-10 on for the victory, 9-4 is your draw, 10-3 is your Cadiz. Cadiz coming to this in 13th, and for them, they can move up to 10th. As for Valladolid, they're all the way down to 17th, but they are the favourites. But a win for them, they can move up to 15th as well in the table. I'm going to go with the 2-1 for Cadiz. Strong season for them as well. Let's see them remain in the division. Next, of course, Valencia up against Deportivo Alaves. Of course, played each other the last 6-3 for Valencia, 1 for Alaves, 2 draws. Last time around in Valencia was a 2-1 win for Valencia back in October 2019. Maxi Gomez on the score sheet, Daniel Pereiro as well. Lucas Perez on the score sheet for Alaves back in the day. Also, played each other this season in November was a 2-2 draw. In fact, the last 4 games, Valencia are unbeaten against Deportivo Alaves, of course, but it's been back-to-back draws in the last couple of games. But they're both in Alaves. Of course, heading into this, Valencia have actually won the last 7 home matches against Deportivo Alaves in all comps. They've also scored at least 2 goals in those last 7. Heading into this, though, they're without a win in 4, of course, 2 defeats and 2 draws to boot. As for Alaves, they're actually unbeaten in 3, picking up back-to-back wins at the moment. So looking very, very good at the moment for Alaves. Valencia 11-10 for the victory, of course, 13-5 is your Alaves, 9-4 is your draw. Alaves coming into this in 16th, and win for them, they can move up to 15th. Valencia all the way down to 14th themselves. And win for them, they can move up to as high as 10th. That's midway, mid-table obscurity for them. 10-0, 2-0 win for Valencia in the bloody end. Next up, we have Real Madrid taking, of course, Real Betis, of course. Fruity one. This one played to the last 6, of course, 3 for Madrid, 2 for Betis, 1 draw. Last time around in Madrid was a 0-0 draw back in, of course, November 2019. They also played this season in Betis was a 3-2 win for Madrid in September, of course. Betis have actually drawn the last 4 matches in La Liga. Madrid undefeated in the last 12 matches, of course, heading into this. And, of course, Betis have kept a clean sheet in the last 3 away matches against Real Madrid in all comps. Wow, wow, wee, wow. That's interesting. Kept a clean sheet. Real Betis have kept a clean sheet in the last 3 away matches against Real Madrid in all competitions. The last 3 away match. They have. They bloody well have. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Of course, heading into this, of course, Betis unbeaten in the last 5 games, picking up 4 draws and 1 win. Meanwhile, Real Madrid coming to this at least unbeaten in the last 6, picking up 4 wins and 2 draws to boot. Of course, their Champions League fate is in their hands. I don't know what's going on with that. Of course, this is on the 24th of April. Played the bookies odds 9-4 on for Real Madrid. 50-4 is your draw, 5-1 is your long shots. That is Betis. Betis coming to in 6th to win for them. They can move up to 5th. Real Madrid are 2nd to win for them. They could go top depending on what goes on elsewhere. Going with the 3-1 win for Madrid. I don't think it's going to be good enough, depending on what goes on with Atlético. Next, of course, Villarreal against Barcelona. Of course, played to the last 6, of course. It's been 5 wins for Barcelona, 1 draw, nothing for Villarreal. Last round in Villarreal was a 4-1 win for Barca back in, of course, July 2020. The goal scorers on that day was, of course, Pau Torres, were big for OG Suarez, Griezmann and Fati on the score for Gerard Mourinho, getting them on to go for Villarreal. Barcelona, they're undefeated in the last 25 matches against Villarreal in all comps. They've also scored at least 2 goals in their last 8 matches against Villarreal as well, heading into this. Of course, just 1 defeat the past 6 games for Barcelona, that was against Madrid. As for Villarreal, just 2 defeats the past 6 games, losing to Osasuna and also losing to Deportivo Alaves just the other day. Look at the bookies odds on this one. We have Villarreal 7-2 for the victory, 6-4 on is your Barcelona, 16-5 is your draw. Villarreal coming to in 7th and win for them, they can move up to 5th. As for Barcelona, they're in 3rd win for them, they could go at least 2nd in the table. 1-0 win for what am I looking at? What am I doing? I've jumped ahead here, so we're gonna talk about it. I've gone with a 2-1 win for Barcelona. Meanwhile, prior to that, it's going to be Huesca up against Getafe. I've gone with the 1-0 win for Getafe, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Places of the last 6, of course, nothing for Huesca, 3 for Getafe, and of course 3 draws. Last round in Huesca was a 1-1 draw back in November 2018. Goal scores on that day was, of course, Exterior on the score with, of course, Jorge Molina as well. They also picture this season in Getafe. It was back in January this season. It was a 1-win for Getafe. Huesca, though, drawing the last 3 home matches against Getafe in all comps. And also Getafe failing to score in the last 3 matches in La Liga. They're coming into this. Getafe without winning at least 6 games. Meanwhile, Huesca, of course, 2 defeats on the spin. However, prior to that, it was back-to-back wins for them. So just kind of hit a rough patch at the wrong time. Look at the bookies odds on this one. 8-5 for Huesca, 2-1 as you draw, 50-8 as you Getafe. Getafe coming to this, of course, in 15th, and with them they can move up to closer to 14th. As for Huesca, they're in 18th. I went for them. They could go up to 16th of the table. I've gone with a 1-0 win for Getafe on this one. Next up, of course, we have Celta Vigo up against Osasuna. Of course, played to the last 6 2 wins apiece and 2 draws last time around in Celta Vigo. So, of course, a 1-1 draw back in January 2020. Of course, Santi Mina on the score sheet. Of course, Chimini Alveila on the score sheet for, of course, Osasuna. The players of this season in Osasuna was, of course, back in October this season. Francuno, Roncala, and Jonathan Caliera on the score sheet for Osasuna back in the day. Of course, Osasuna have actually won the last 3 matches in La Liga. Celta Vigo, though, undefeated in the 9 last 10 matches at home against Osasuna in all comps. They come into this. Osasuna winning 3 on the spin, beating Villarreal, Elche, and of course Valencia. Just 1 win in the past 6 games though for Celta Vigo. That was against CD Alavés all the way back at the start of April. Look at the bookies odds on this one. What do we have on this one? Celta Vigo 65 at the Rectory, 94 is your draw, 23-10 is your Osasuna. Of course, Celta Vigo come into this in 12th right now, but I mean for them, they can move up to 9th. As for their opposition, Osasuna, they're actually in 9th. While we will win for them, they could go up to 8th. In the table, for me, I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Celta Vigo on this one. 3 points in the bag. And move the chains. Next, of course, Sevilla up against Granada. Of course, played to the last 6 3 wins apiece, no draws last time round. In Sevilla was a 2-0 win for Sevilla back in, of course, January 2020. That was last year, of course. Luke De Jong and scoring Nolito as well. Sevilla have actually won 8 of the last 9 home matches heading into this. They've also kept a clean sheet in 6 of the last 7 matches at home as well. Coming into this 4 wins on the spin for Sevilla, beating Atlético, beating Celta Vigo, beating Sociedad, and of course Levante. So Granada winning twice in the past 3 games. Of course, the one hiccup was the defeat to Manchester United. Of course, heading into this one, we got Sevilla 9-4 on for the Rectory, 10-3 as your draw. 6-1 is your long shots. It is Granada. Granada coming to sitting in. Where are you, Granada? They're in 8th at the moment, but for them, they can close it in on 7th. As for Sevilla, they're 4th, and for them, they could go 2nd. Would you believe it? 2nd, would you believe it? Going to go with the 3-1 for Sevilla. Move the bloody chains. Can they sneak in the top 2 at the end of it? Meanwhile, Atletico Bilbao taking on Madrid, of course, this coming week. Place of the last 6-1 for Bilbao, 4 for Madrid, and 1 draw last round in Bilbao. Was in fact that draw back in June 2020. The goal scores Iker Muniain on the score with Diego Costa as well. They also played this season, and of course, in Madrid was 2-1 win for Madrid just a couple of weeks ago in March. Laurencio Suarez on the score sheet, Iker Muniain as well. Bilbao have actually drawn the last 5 matches in La Liga, and there was Atletico undefeated in the 35 last 38 matches as well heading into this. Madrid have actually just 1 defeat past 5. The 1 defeat against Sevilla. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat past 5 for Bilbao. That 1 defeat was against Barcelona, but the rest have been draws. No wins in sight. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Bilbao 65 at the Rectory, 5-2 each draw. 65 on is your Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid coming to this, of course, top, and they'll be top if they get a draw or more. As for the opposition, Bilbao, they're into 10th, and for them, they can move up to 9th with a win and a little bit of luck going their way. 2-1 for Madrid on this one for me. 3 points in the bag. Next, of course, Eibar up against Real Sociedad, my boys. Of course, this will be on Monday, the 26th of April. Place of the last 6 2 wins apiece and 2 draws last time around in Eibar was a 2-1 win for Sociedad back in March 2020. Of course, goal scores Mikel Olazábal on the score sheet with William Jose as well. Charles getting on the goal score sheet for Eibar. They also played this season in Sociedad. Was a 1-1 draw back in December. Eibar failing to win though for the last 15 matches in La Liga, where Sociedad have actually failed to win the last 5 against in La Liga as well. Wow, that's pretty ugly. They do. What was that? Real Sociedad failed to win their last 5 matches in La Liga. They come into this on the back of the win against Celta Vigo. Maybe prior to this one. Of course, they come into this on the back of a victory over Celta Vigo. Of course, that was their first win in 5, if not more than that. 4 wins, 4 defeats on the spin for Eibar. Looking very, very wobbly right now, and they look like they're going down. As for the bookies odds on this one, 13-5 for Eibar, 12-5 is your draw, 21-20 is your Sociedad. Sociedad coming into this in 5th, and over there they can close it in on 4th. Eibar in 20th, and win for them. They can close it in on 19th, but they won't get it. 2-0 win for Sociedad in the end. Here's the bonus 2 now coming at you, of course, on Wednesday the 28th of April. It'll be Bilbao against Valladolid. Of course, played to the last 6 2 wins apiece and 2 draws last round in Bilbao. Was of course a 1-1 draw back in October 2019. Goal scores on the day. Inaki Williams on the score sheet with Ingengo Martinez with big for OG, giving them a share of the spoils. However, they also played this season in Valladolid. It was a 2-1 win for Valladolid as well. Do we have a bookies odds? I think we do. Of course, Bilbao coming to 6-4 on for the victory. 11-5 is your draw. 11-2 is your long shots. That's Valladolid. 6 points on the agenda for Bilbao. When both of them, they could be up to 44 points, which is 8th. As As for Valladolid, another 6 points on the agenda for them. Win both of those, they could be up as high as, of course, 15th in the table. I think Bilbao will nick this one with a 2-1 win in the end. Of course, Barcelona taking on Granada in the final match this week. Of course, that'll take place on Thursday the 29th of April. Of course, placed on the last 6-5 wins for Barcelona, 1 win for Granada. Of course, no draws. That 1 win for Granada was back in 2019. Of course, heading into this, though, they played each other at the Camp Nou last season. It was a 1-0 win for Barcelona. Other 1-0 goal scorer was, of course, Messi, with the German Sanchez got himself sent off. Meanwhile, they also played each other this season in Granada. It was back in January. Of course, a 4-0 win for Barcelona as well. They also played each other in the Spanish Cup. It was a 5-3 win for Barcelona. So they like goals in this one. Of course, Barcelona undefeated in the last 12 home matches in the league. They came into this winning 4 of the past 5 games, only hiccup was a defeat against Real Madrid. As for Granada, they came into this winning twice the past 3 games. Of course, bookies' odds on this one will be in favour of Barcelona. 7-1 on for the victory. 8-1 is your long shots. 4-1 is your Granada. Granada 6 points on the agenda. Win both of those. They could close in on 7th. As for Barcelona, again 6 points on the horizon. Depending on what goes on elsewhere, they could come out of this top of the pops with 74 points on the agenda. They'll win both of these. It's just a matter of will Madrid beat Bilbao? That's the question on everybody's lips. And that, my friends, is what I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the old thumbs up. If you're new, smash your subscribe button. Bang out today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, La Liga related, world football related. The next time you see me in this disguise, we'll be back, of course, with La Liga. And, of course, we'll bring you bang up to date with, of course, the Prediction League, because it has been very, very busy this past week. So hopefully next time you see me, bang up to date with that. Check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and, of course, Patreon. If you want to support the channel in another way, that's the best place to do it. Until then, I'll see you all soon for the next one. Till then, I'm out of here.